Okay, so I've managed to piss her off. I know that the Amazons are superior to all other nations, so the Citadel is superior to all other castles. Oh my god, I mean, there's pride and then there's you. Yes, Your Grace. Eleanor learned just how sheltered Loren truly was. Even her former mistress knew all about the outside world, but then she was allowed to travel outside of the Citadel's walls. Loren was not. Okay, that actually explains quite a bit. Because, I mean, she's not actually allowed outside, so she's kind of sheltered, doesn't know much. Makes sense. She knew then that she would have to take better care of her princess than she anticipated. Ain't that the truth? You are now being taken to the world map. Locations will appear as they're discovered in the storyline. Awesome. Sometimes when you travel to a city, you will encounter a random battle. These battles are optional, unlike the battles that are triggered by the storyline. Fair enough. You can also access the camp button on the map. It will take you to your group's campsite so that you may speak with your party members. Oh, lore, story, fantastic. Getting to know each character is important to the game and may even lead to romance. This is a romance game. It's romance. Awesome. See what you can find. Oh, snap. So, geez, look at this. So there's Grimoire, there's a Citadel, which is where we are, there's Grimoire. So what's this? Some kind of, like, islandy, swampy place, I assume? And, like, evil Doom Mountain, and some sort of mountainous steppes, forest area, desert. It's got pretty much everything. Fair enough. I'm going to go to the camp. In this screen, you can talk with your party members. The available dialogue options change based on the main plot. Talking is completely optional, but you can unlock romance options or extra quests. Okay, cool. So, at the moment, all I've got is Loren. And what's that? Oh, I guess this is the romance screen where it'll show me, you've got this much romance with this person, but this much romance with this person. Okay, fair enough. What's this? Ah, quests. Character quests. Oh, snaps, these are like side quests for the actual... That's awesome! That's so cool! Characters will start to approach you with personal quests later in the game. That's great. I like that there's character quests. That's awesome. Okay, Loren. Eleanor approached Loren tentatively. She looked deep in thought, and it was probably dangerous to disturb her. Nevertheless, she spoke up. Your Highness? Fortunately, Loren gave her a slight nod of acknowledgement, but nothing more. Forgive me for asking, but I do not know much of the situation. Perhaps if you told me more, I could assist you better. What more is there to know? My mother is missing. Yes, but what was the Queen doing to have gone missing? When was the last time you saw her? These are all pertinent questions. Loren raised her chin while her eyes blinked rapidly. I can't tell you much of anything. I wish I could, but I can't. My mother was an immensely private person. But you are asking for the facts, and the facts are that Mother, the Queen, was not in her bedchamber one morning, and we have not seen her since. And the scouts? Were you not there? They could not find her. Even though they could track a sparrow through a forest, they could not find their own queen. Oh, she's actually just really concerned about her mum. It's quite endearing, actually. Loren looked away. Eleanor was uneasy in the ensuing silence. But we will succeed where the scouts have failed. You damn right. The conviction brought hope to her. She uttered a sigh. I already knew that. What does that look for? Jeez. Yes, Your Grace. I can't win with you. Can I talk to you again? Oh. Mistress, what can you tell me of the Citadel? Being the princess, you must hold much more knowledge of it than I. Loren crossed her arms. Of course I do. Okay. The Citadel was built stone by the Great Mothers. We were once able to defend our land without it, but the fools kept testing the strength of the Amazons, and so our walls were built. In our fortress we are invincible. The walls of the citadel are impenetrable and always well defended. It's held off invasions by every ragtag banner known. You would think some militants would learn to avoid us, but the stability of our mighty home will likely continue to be tested. Such is the way of the world. I sometimes wonder why Mother doesn't send the scouts upon all the other empires and conquer them all. Whoa, whoa. Okay, let's, yeah, you got a lot to learn before you're queen, lady. A lot to learn. Okay, I now can either tell her you're fucking full of shit, or I can go kind of a bit more friendly. I think I'll go joking or friendly. I'm gonna give joking a go. See what happens here. Probably because that'd be a very bad idea. That shows what you know. Put aside the plausibility and ethical complications, you probably just end up wiping out the Amazons rather than conquering Aravorn. Kind of the wrong thing to say there. Those words could be considered treason shit. What? Why? It's just the facts. The Amazons are just a small population in a big world. Look how wide Hirashi is furious. That means nothing. Well, yes, I hope for my own sake that the Amazons win, but I wouldn't bet money on it, that's all. Stop it! You're digging yourself a hole! Well, dismissed. Wesley, fuck off. Eleanor smiled at her, but she did not smile back. I think I've talked to her enough. Yep, that's... oh dear. Okay, so... maybe save joking for a bit later. Grimoire, here we are. As they approached the path cut through a wooded area. Loren stopped abruptly and held her arm out to stop Eleanor. Her expression was serious, and her voice low. Something isn't right here. They looked around, examining the area for anything out of the ordinary, and then they saw it. Someone was strung up by their feet from a tree limb, head down with a bag covering their body. The bag writhed. They were still alive. Please help me. Oh shit! Loren and Eleanor rushed towards the person, but several little screeching creatures sprang down from the tree. Goblins! Apparently the goblins are into punk rock or something, because the dog collars and like... oh wait, the spikes on here, like poison that actually makes sense. That's pretty cool. Practical use for that shit. Otherwise it's just really into like Johnny Rotten. Fear shot through Eleanor as she realized that a battle was now upon them. Look how scared I am! And that Princess Loren had never fought outside of training. It was up to her to protect the princess. Watch yourself! Same to you! Loren drew her two swords swiftly and hurried to engage the enemies. You do not have to give me any instruction. Oh shit! Eleanor was surprised to see how swiftly Loren moved as she fought. She started with a vertical slash that moved so quickly that her blade looked like a solid arc of silver. The goblin collapsed to the ground in a bloody mess as she lifted her other sword in a horizontal slash to behead another goblin. She danced between the enemies and evaded their attempts and counterattacked with ease. Eleanor looked surprised to see how beautifully deadly all of her movements were. Loren impaled another goblin through the heart in one quick stab, retracting her blade and flicking the blood off the metal with casual ease. She didn't have to stop to catch her breath, nor did she break a sweat in the short battle. You are about to select your party formation. Oh, snap. Right now you have only 2 party members, but later in the game you can have up to 6. So, yeah, I've already done this, but let's go. Prepare yourself for the first fight. Oh god, first fight! Woo! Welcome to the battle screen. Attack by clicking on enemy portraits, or click ally portraits for friendly actions. Hover over the portraits to see detailed information. To repeat the last action performed, simply click twice. Nice and easy. Okay, now I have played this before, so I know how the battle system works. Okay, so you can see, if I hover over this guy, his hit points, his regen, his stamina, all of that kind of stuff, how staggered and angry he is. So, this show, the aura, glowing aura, glow, that's what I was going for, glow, shows that whose turn it is, and you can see the movement order down here. Very handy to keep an eye on this, because you can see that we're going to have an attack, then we're all going to get attacked by all of these goblins, then it's us again. So, let's see if I can take these guys out. So I can use a regular ranged attack, or, oh snap, I can use an aimed shot and possibly take him down in one. Let's give it a go. Yep, done. Bosh. And let's just attack you, as Loren doesn't have any sort of special attacks. Now, because I used that, like, super ranged attack, Eleanor had a longer wait, since she moved down the movement order. So let's just keep going. Oh, Christ. Now, you're pretty much dead, so let's kill you. And you, I will kill with one of those. Bosh, now it's just you. Now, since Loren has two weapons, the two numbers that come up are her forehand and backhand damage, essentially. So you see that, 28 and 12. She's doing that. Okay, and let's finish her with a regular attack.
Does anyone
Bosh.
need healing?
Yay, I won! Cool. Kick ass. Oh, got a short bow. Nice. Very nice. Eleanor hurried to keep up with her, but the fight was over quickly. Loren kept her swords in hand as she approached the stranger and cut the restraining rope. Eleanor grimaced, but found some amusement at Loren's obvious lack of concern for the person. The person tumbled down from the tree, groaned, and then squirmed out of the bag covering him. Ooh, a lithe blonde man stood up and brushed the dirt from himself. Dude's a mage. I mean, look at him. Dude's a mage. Draco. Oh, the ground hurts quite a bit, actually. Who are you? Even though the man's ears were tucked neatly behind his hair, Eleanor noticed them sticking out from his disturbed locks. They were pointed. You are half-elf, aren't you? Oh, you can tell. No fooling you guys, I guess. Yes, I am the half-breedy type. Half-elf. Is that a problem? No. Why should it be? He swiftly took Eleanor's hands and shook them gratefully. Oh, that's great! My name is Draco, but what shall I call this lovely flower? Enough of your nonsense. Loren has had enough of your shit already. Loren raved her weapons. She waved her weapons as if she were as much of a threat as the goblins. Was it simply because he was a man, or had her isolation at the Citadel turned her paranoid? Now, don't get upset, I'm just playing around. Identify yourself, now. Your Highness, he just said, I'm surprised you haven't heard of me. I am the all-powerful, famous Master Fire Magician. He suddenly waved his fingers in front of him and created a brief fireball. He even made a sound effect to accompany it, and he laughed. But his laughter was cut short when Loren kicked him straight in the chest and hurled him back towards the ground. Ah! It was just a demonstration. I mean no harm, honestly. Your Grace, I believe he won't hurt us. Loren slowly pulled her sword away from Draco's throat and stood straight. You're right, because he is too incompetent to do any damage. Incompetent? That's not fair. I'm actually really good with magic. All kinds, but fire's my favourite. My last name is Firestarter, after all. Twisted Firestarter. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Moving on. Oh, then how did you get captured so easily by a small group of little goblins if you're so powerful? It was a different group. A bigger group. Goblins as tall as trees. Yes. Trees. Eleanor tried not to giggle in front of her mistress, for Loren would simply punish her. That's a very convenient excuse. It was! They were accompanied by a very powerful goblin shaman. I couldn't hold out against them all on my own, and the shaman was as big as 2 trees. Draco blinked once and then burst out laughing, and Eleanor joined him. Yes, exactly. I like this guy. Adds a bit of levity to the whole thing. Silence! Oh, Christ. Then comes crashing back down with Loren. And then they were silent. You let your guard down, no matter how tall the goblin. That's unacceptable. I'm sure I'm more useful than you may think, lady. Perhaps you'd be interested in my services. I wouldn't charge much. No, we are not interested. Draco looked disappointed at her blunt response. Oh, look at him. Poor guy. Not even if I throw in an especially beautiful lady discount? Loren ignored him and walked away. Oh, even Eleanor looks disappointed. It's your loss then. Bye, I suppose. Aw. They walked away from the disappointed magician. Eleanor spoke quietly to Loren once they were out of earshot. I'm sure that won't be the last time we see that man. Unfortunately. Jesus. Tell you what, I want to see what she has to say. Your Majesty, if I may ask, now that we're travelling together, I'd like to know what you expect of me. What kind of question is this? Everything I need you for. That's what a servant is for. I see. You're not the most polite woman. I mean, I get that you're royalty, but I'm still your princess, even though I've left the Citadel. Well, actually, according to your laws, you've kind of been cast out now, so I'm not sure if you can still pull rank. I think that's what they were saying back at the Citadel. You leave and then kind of forfeit everything, so not really sure if that still applies. Yes, I was not doubting that at all, ma'am. It's only that I'm not used to this type of servitude. I've already told you that your bed tricks are useless to me. Yes, I know. I was hoping you could tell how best to serve you. All of my slaves stood 5 paces away from me at all times, and they did not look me in the eyes. My God, I can't win. I cannot win with you. You are just insufferable. Eleanor immediately averted her eyes and took several steps away. Loren evaluated her. No, that looks odd when there's only one of you. Oh, my God. You may stand closer. Oh, thank you so much, Your Highness. Eleanor shuffled back. Behind me, when I'm not addressing you. Ah, yes. Thank you, mistress. It was a small victory for her to be allowed more intimacy with Loren. Perhaps when they came to know each other more, Eleanor could stand with respect next to her. You're making it real hard for me to like you, Loren. You're the main character of the game, and so far, you're just kind of a bitch. You really are.